So welcome to our virtual demo day for Launch Lab Growth. I'm Luann Flanders-Steck, the Executive Vice President for Launch Greensboro, the entrepreneurship initiative of the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce. We're here this evening to celebrate 8 companies that have just completed our Spring 2020 Launch Lab Growth Accelerator program. Now realize we're trying to emulate, even though this is virtual, we're trying to emulate our real demo day, which means there can be some glitches and some blunders. So just know that along the way that might happen. Additionally, I want to remind you to, as you're watching these companies pitch, you can find them on Facebook. So follow them on social media, provide some commentary as they are pitching, because I think you're going to be really thrilled with what you learn about them. And make sure you follow up with them later. So joining us in a panel discussion is Kelly Frazier, the founder of LMS, one of the co-founders of LMS. She's also a board member for Launch Greensboro, as well as she's helping us extensively with our messaging and social media. So thank you, Kelly, for that. Additionally, we have Abhirup Dutta joining us, and he is also on our board of advisors. He is the founder and CEO of Star Mount Advisory Firm, and he's been working extensively as a mentor with companies as part of our accelerator program for the last couple of years. And finally, we've got Falon Thomas with Onyx Ocean. She did our program a couple of years ago and is now active in our Sustain group. And her company, Onyx Ocean, helps build apps for small and large businesses throughout our region. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, and enjoy this portion of our program, and I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, guys, really excited to be here today to talk about Launch Greensboro. I think a great way for us to start off is to talk about ladder back to the mission of Launch. And so that is that we accelerate entrepreneurs through education, mentoring, and guidance around capital to start and grow businesses in the triad. And so one of the things we talk about a lot when we talk about Launch Greensboro is that it really is a variety of resources, and it's set up in a way that can really meet entrepreneurs where they are on any part of the journey. And so some of the components of that really are about mentorship and accelerator programming, idea camps. And so I'm excited today for us to be able to talk about the different pieces of that, and especially for the two of you to talk about your connection to the different pieces of that. So I wanted to just start quickly with you, Abhirup, if you can just introduce yourself and then also just tell us a little bit about your philosophy around mentorship at Launch and how that really is such an integral part of it.
So my name is Abhirup Dutta. I've been a mentor with Launch Greensboro for about 4 years now, and it's been an absolute pleasure being a part of the program and being able to interact with companies in the region as they've come through the program. So mentoring, I feel, is a key part of the program, and typically what I do is I start off by meeting the company where they are. Every company is different in terms of where they are in the trajectory of operating as a business, and some of them are really at the beginning stages. Some of them are a little bit more mature. So a lot of questions usually from my side to the entrepreneur to kind of kick things off, just so that I get a good sense. Once I understand that, the next big piece is really outlining the scope. What do we want to do in the next 90 days, right? And how will that help you? And how is it relevant to where you're at right now? Once we have that figured out, then over the next 90 days, on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, along with all of the programming that Launch offers, work with the entrepreneur. And the scope may be different. Depending on the business, depending on the entrepreneur. It could be marketing based, there will be maybe working on a marketing plan that needs to be built, or it could be, something to do with connections, or it could be a consumer research. So it really is a lot of fun actually as a mentor, as you go and talk to these companies and you find out where they are and you work on that particular scope. And at the end of 90 days, it's really as they graduate out of the program, I always focus on leaving them with a roadmap, right? Where do you go from here? And why is that relevant? And I encourage entrepreneurs to kind of think deeper through the 90 days as to where they are, where they want to go, and how well they understand the market, the consumer, and their business.
for you, obviously you were involved in the mentorship program well before you became a board member. How has, coming into the board, how has that kind of shaped the way that you approach participating, and what are you most excited about as it relates to the program shaping Greensboro moving forward?
Yeah, I think the piece that excites me most is the accretive nature of early stage companies, growing businesses, accelerator programs, because it's the entrepreneur comes in, goes through the program. We get on cohort by cohort. Over the last 4 years, I've really seen that evolve in terms of, now we have all of these companies from a few years back that are coming back to the program to contribute. So to me, it creates breadth in the local economy in terms of capability, right? Because everybody is familiar with the foundations. Everybody's been mentored with a top-notch coach and a mentor over the last few years, and you're really creating that foundation. And to me, so that's what really excites me. And when I think about Greensboro and I think about the local economy here, I think as I look forward, there are two groups that are most important to this process. One is the entrepreneur, right? And the entrepreneurs, doesn't matter where they are, they start to view Greensboro very positively because they see other entrepreneurs be successful. And they come in, they interact, there's collaboration, and then there's momentum, there's traction there. So that's one group that benefits a lot. The other group that really is key to this process is investors. And they're looking to support these early stage ventures, and they're looking for good companies. And as they see this group evolve over time, and as businesses get established, they add on a good track record over years, they start to view the region positively. And I think once you get to a stage where there's balance on both sides of that equation, investors on one side and the entrepreneurs on one side, that's when it starts to have a meaningful impact on the local economy in Greensboro. Because it's the breadth that really excites me. It's not one or two companies, it's 15, 20, 50, 100 companies that are now driving meaningful growth in an area. So it's broad, it's across industries, it's across business models, and it just fosters a very different look for the region. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and that's what excites me most.
Yeah, it's super exciting, and I really agree. And I think talking about entrepreneurs and local to Greensboro, then it's a good time, Falon, to talk to you. So can you do the same as Abby Rope, just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then also give us just an overview of what your experience was in the accelerator program?
Great. Hey, I am Falon Thomas, and I'm the founder of Onyx Ocean Technologies. So we build mobile applications and websites for universities and small businesses. And I went through Launch Lab as well. And it was fantastic, right? It really, especially for starting businesses, you have a tendency to work in your business a whole lot and not on your business. So it gave us a great opportunity to actually like step out of the minutia and like get a solid plan together. And we're also not afraid to, iterate on that plan or completely pivot if we need to. So having that support system around like formulating your plan and what you're going to do, I think was invaluable for me. Yeah.
Amazing. And what stage in your business were you when you came into the program?
Oh, I was very, very new. So like the embryo stage, I guess. Is that a stage? So, yeah, so very, very new. Yeah.
Okay, and so coming out of it, how did the program really help you to establish your company and impact your growth?
Yeah, so it really got us to understand, why I went into business, what we're doing in business. We got a great opportunity to really sit down and think through our plan. And for me personally, just learning how to go out and speak in front of people, pitching, getting help with pitches. So that definitely has led to, business on countless opportunities just through being able to articulate what it is that you do to other people is super important. So yeah, that was one of the big things I got.
Yeah, the elevator pitch.
There you go.
Can you tell us a little bit, obviously we're in sort of unprecedented times for business, and especially as a fairly new startup. Can you give us a little insight into what your experience has been over the last 2 months?
Yeah, so like a lot of companies, we've seen some loss of clients. Like I had a client that is a leather manufacturer from Italy. They were hit hard, so obviously we lost them, and a couple other clients. But through that, I feel like you just have to push harder and you have to offer more services and be more help, right? So we decided to launch a disaster assistance program to help, yeah, our clients who are having a hard time, have mobile applications and websites and stuff like that done for free or low cost. So, and people are taking advantage of that. So, my best way to help during this time is just to be of service and to go the extra mile for my clients. So, yeah.
I think that's a really great perspective to have, and I also think that I always know an entrepreneur is really legit when they use words like pivot when they're talking about growing. So I definitely I think that that's a really smart move, and I think when things do get to a level spot, your clients that you were able to support through it will remember that. So I think that's really smart. So
Thank you.
you touched on it a little bit, how part of the accelerator program is that weekly you have an expert come in and speak about different topics to really help you understand that flow of business. And so the way that Launch works that out is having volunteers, experts from the community come in weekly to talk about things like branding and finance and forecasting and sales and marketing and all of those things. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience with that, having that time with experts in those specific lanes?
Yeah, that was super important. So I feel like it took, hours and hours off of me Googling and staying off of YouTube University. So like it was very helpful to us. And, just having that support system there where we can actually ask questions. Yeah, it's definitely an invaluable resource and I appreciated it.
Yeah. And are you a part of the ongoing? Tell us a little bit about once you're out of the program, how it works for you.
Yeah, the great thing about it is the staff is always still there to support you once you leave the program. So it's not like you do the program and then you're just out in the water. Like it's not like that. So they're still there and they're still very accessible. They send you opportunities later on that they have if there's any type of discussions and different things that you need like marketing and sales. They still have those professionals that will come and kind of come and help you. So I think that's phenomenal that you can go through a program for the whole 90 days, but still know that you have that support system pretty much throughout the life of your business. So I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that's really been impactful for me about working with Launch is that when I moved back, I'm from Greensboro. When I moved back to the Greensboro area, I really wanted to understand how I could support small business. But I really was coming into it from the perspective of the only way that I could really do that with impact was to provide capital. And so my first experience with Demo Day was really surprising because at the end of all of the pitches, nobody actually asked for capital that round. They were looking for, support and resources, referrals, relationships, customers. And I really had this sort of aha moment of like, oh, well, I can certainly do that. And so it's been a really, just a joy for me really to find these businesses and become a customer and a big fan of them and then see them grow and be able to be a resource ongoing to them in multiple ways. And I definitely echo Abiroop's sentiment about the breadth of it and about really starting to become, I think Launch is known to be the premier resource for businesses and a trusted resource that when businesses come out of Launch, you trust that they've been set up for success and they've had a really solid basis set. So that trust is really established with the community, and then the community really is there on the other side to, take the handoff and run with it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining this conversation about Launch. We're so excited to see what's going to come out of this cohort, and really appreciate your time, Falon, and also Abiroop. And I'm going to hand it over to Luann to take it from here.
So without further delay, let me introduce the first company that has completed our Launch Lab Growth Accelerator program, Logan Harvey with Fan Park. Fan Park has a new way to reserve and touchlessly pay for parking. So take it away, Logan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Logan Harvey, and I'm the creator and co-founder of Fan Park. where we turn parking spaces into revenue and event goers into VIPs. To put it simply, parking is a pain and nobody likes it. The average American driver wastes 17 hours a year just looking for a place to park. What would you do with an extra 17 hours in your year? For venues and event creators, it's a logistical nightmare. You have one shot to nail your pricing opportunity. Price too high and nobody comes to your event. Price too low and you miss out on revenue opportunities. An empty lot means an empty wallet, plain and simple. Now, I would love to say that I came up with the idea for using technology to improve the parking experience. However, I didn't. That market is called the smart parking market. And it's exactly what it sounds like, using technology to improve the parking experience. And it's expected to grow nearly 20 to 28% year over year and reach nearly $25 billion by 2025. However, these are pre-COVID numbers. Fan Park fits into the yellow, off-street parking, which is exactly what it sounds like, parking done off streets. But what is Fan Park? Fan Park is an iOS and Android parking payment and reservation platform designed specifically for special events to not only improve the parking experience, but to increase revenue opportunities both safely and efficiently. We break our platform down to the 3 R's: research, reserve, and relax. First, research. Just decide where you want to go and when you want to go. Next is reserve. Just buy your space. And finally, relax. When you arrive, show your confirmation code to the attendant and pull in and enjoy your event. That's it. Our platform allows for this improved event goer experience because of our totally contactless interaction inside of our Stripe payment gateway, all the way from sign-in to check-in, where, like I said, you show your confirmation code to an attendant and pull right in. No more exchanging cash, no more exchanging cards. It's that simple. Our most important ability is our dynamic pricing opportunity, which allows event creators, venues, and parking providers to decide pricing based upon location, give early bird discounts, or last-minute increases. It's completely up to them. Our flat fees are added on top of each reservation price, ensuring parking providers retain every cent of expected parking revenue. No sign-up fees and no long-term contracts. We're uniquely located in the market due to our completely contactless interface that we've had from our inception. Our lightweight platform that runs on all mobile applications and mobile phones, and because of our newest feature, parking lot sponsorship. If you're intrigued by what this means, I'd love to talk to you offline, but I can't get into too much detail here. Since June of last year, we created an entirely new revenue stream with VIP parking for the formerly named Dixie Classic Fair and created a 5x revenue increase for the Last Resort, a private parking provider located across the street from BB&T Field, where we service both Wake Forest football and basketball games. We are also on track to be VIP parking providers for the Winston-Salem Dash. As times have changed, no longer is Fan Park just a convenience. It's the standard to provide a safer, more efficient event experience. Now, we already have a reliable platform built, recurring customers paying for our service, and a strategic plan to grow. Right now, we're looking for access to capital and more customers to continue to improve our service. Our capital funding will be put towards continued iterations of our mobile app based upon customer feedback that we receive. It will also go towards enacting our plan for growth and increasing both our marketing and business development expenditures. And finally, it will be going towards growing Team Fan Park. To be quite honest, we don't know when live events will return. However, we do know that these live events will forever be changed. At Fan Park, we're here to make that change one for the better instead of one for the worse. Thank you.
All right, amazing job. Thank you again, Logan. Personally, I can't wait until we need to use your app again. And I know everybody else is in the same boat. So next up, you're going to hear from Will Dungy. He's the founder of Cantag Solutions, a life and wellness coach focused on helping us manage stress.
For 27 years, I had the pleasure of being a pastor here in Greensboro, North Carolina. I love leadership. I like most parts of leadership, but leadership can be stressful. Sometimes it can feel like you're under the weight of a boulder and it's going to crush you. And if you don't do something about the stress, it will wreck your life. As a matter of fact, people who are in corporate America experience high levels of relational tension. The divorce rate in America is 50%, but it's slightly higher for that group. There's also a feeling of isolation. The suicide rate is 20 per 100,000. That's where I come in. I am Will Dungy, the founder of Cantag Solutions. It is a life and wellness coaching firm. We help leaders manage stress by giving them the tools to focus on the things that matter most, which is mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness, as well as maintaining healthy relationships at home, work, and in the community. When I was a kid, I used to play a game called tag, and I'm pretty sure most of you played that game also. Except in my neighborhood, we wouldn't accept just a brush by to say that that person was it. It had to be a full contact. As a matter of fact, we loved it better if you tackled the person. When that person got up, that person was it, but not it by his or herself. They were it with everyone else. So you end up with a bunch of people who are it. That is my philosophy for coaching, and that is my philosophy for discipleship. You don't just brush by somebody, you give a full contact. And when it's done, that person should be able to get up and say, I'm it, I can tag too. So how do I tag? I help leaders navigate the hard stages of life. I provide one-on-one coaching sessions. I coach couples who are in business together, and I coach teams. Also provide activities to help change the mental and emotional energy from problem focus to solution focus, and to provide assessments like Strength Finders and Simbas. I want leaders to know that you don't have to feel crushed beneath the weight of stress. You can rise above it. Will you help me tag also? If you know somebody who is feeling the weight of leadership, can you tell them about CanTag? And if you are a leader overwhelmed by stress, I want to ask you to schedule a meeting with me today. You can reach me at cantagsolutions.com, or you can email me at will@cantagsolutions.com. Thank you.
So great job, Will. And another thank you. You were an amazing supporter of entrepreneurs and people in our community over the last couple of months with your free 20-minute sessions. So thank you for helping folks get through this pandemic. And now we got a quick commercial break. You know, if you've been to a demo day, we love our commercial breaks. Launch Greensboro hosts many programs throughout the year, from TBD to Capital Connects, from ideation to capital raising through First Launch Capital Fund and Capital Connects. So right now we're recruiting for our next program, Launch Lab 101. Launch Lab 101 is also an accelerator program similar to the Launch Lab Growth Program. However, it's a shortened time period for companies that are really just starting their business. And we cover things that you would expect. How do you define your customer, and how do you find them and reach them from a marketing standpoint? What you need to be considering as you open the doors from a legal and an accounting perspective. So again, it's a 5-week program. We're going to start in June, on June 15th. We're planning it virtual. We hope to be able to meet together. But if you know of a company that is starting a business, or if you want to start a business, this is a great place to begin the process. So if you know someone, there's the application, or you can go to the launchgreensboro.com website. Next, let's welcome Deborah Smith. She's the founder of Early Groove, your virtual hub connecting you to online events and offerings.
Hi, I'm Deborah, and I created Early Groove because I was frustrated trying to stay on top of what was happening in the arts community, entrepreneurial ecosystem, as well as fun things to do on a Friday night. I wanted an easy way to discover all the things happening in my community without having to read every newsletter in my email inbox or rely on social media to surface what matters most to me. The problem is competition for attention. Today, there's not a lack of information. It's a matter of finding what you need when you need it. Did you know each time you open Facebook, an average of 1,500 posts show up in your newsfeed? And that's all types of content. With local events and services going virtual over the next several months, there will be even more competition for attention than ever before. Early Groove provides a dedicated platform for community information that doesn't compete with other content or advertising. We are one-stop, hyper-local, and virtual. We make it easy for businesses and organizations to engage customers and build community, virtually now and in person when we gather together again. I have experience in public administration as executive director of a nonprofit, and most recently leading a team to build and commercialize an edtech platform. Today, I'm joined by a wonderful team with experience in finance, project management, community arts, marketing, and design thinking. And together, we've built Early Groove as a marketplace for businesses and their customers. We serve the nonprofit leader providing virtual programming, the creative offering online classes, and the entrepreneur building their business and network. For customers, we offer an easy way to discover the local organizations and opportunities that matter most to them. We have indirect competition on platforms like Eventbrite, LinkedIn, and search engines. However, our direct competition is social media. 80 million businesses use Facebook to promote their events, services, and products. The upside of these platforms is their widespread use and adoption. But the downside is content quality and an ad-based business model that relies on extracting our time and attention at the expense of our data and privacy. For us, it's about quality content, ease of use, and a business model that provides an ad-free experience. Our market is businesses and organizations who promote on social media and still struggle to expand their audience and get seen. This represents at least 20% of the available market. Our business model is freemium. Anyone can list on Early Groove for free, and our mobile app will be free. Where we make money is by providing businesses with premium options, including advanced integrations and reporting. All of this at a low monthly fee of $10, which could generate up to $160 million in monthly recurring revenue. Last month, we launched locally, have gained initial traction, and are currently raising our first investment to scale Early Groove as the virtual hub for communities everywhere. These funds will be used for ongoing product development, marketing, and sales. Today, we're asking for two things. One, if you have a great online event or digital offering for the community, please list it on Early Groove. And two, if you're an investor who believes in our mission and wants to learn more, please feel free to reach out to me directly. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. We're all looking forward to the time when we can actually use your online tool to find in-person events, not just virtual events. And I think everyone will join me in that. So next up, we have Sean Kearney, founder of Upgauged, experts in remote working strategies to help businesses, even when and while they manage remote teams. Take it away, Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean Kearney, founder of Upgauged, and we are the team hackers. You know, all teams struggle at times to do their best work, especially in times of disruptive change, and often even more so when working remotely. Now, 6 months ago, most of us were expecting slow and steady changes to come from disruptive technology like artificial intelligence and automation, or maybe we were expecting it to come from the quirks of millennials. But now the global pandemic is disrupting everything, our workplaces, our economy, and our lives. And many of us are asking questions like, how can our business survive? What happens if many of our employees don't want to leave their homes and refuse to come back to an office? How can we be ready for more storms that we know are on the horizon? Well, we need strong teams to help us find those answers. So our team has worked with some of the best teams in over 100 organizations around the world, every size, every type, every industry. And we've helped those teams navigate disruptive times of mergers, acquisitions, changes in leadership, outsourcing, and moving teams to remote work. So for example, we worked with a major telecom company who was having issues with customer satisfaction, first call resolution, and new hire readiness. We started with a remote team made up of an executive sponsor, 2 supervisors, a trainer, and a top performing agent. Now, one of these improvements you see here came from the original team that we coached all the way through our process. Another came from a team that we trained, but was led by members of the previous team. And the third improvement came from a completely new team who learned this process directly from their peers. The executive vice president for this division said, these are not just gigantic wins for us now, but really for the first time, I feel like we're ready for anything. So how do we do it? Well, at Upgauge, we deliver consulting, remote workshops, and support using a 4-phase process that we call team hacking. The first phase is problem design. Great teams solve great problems, and problem design ensures that your team has a great problem, a problem that they believe they can solve and believe is worth solving, a real meaningful problem that they own. The second phase, team design, guides your team to create the optimal workflow for that team to solve that problem. Behavior design then ensures that the cues, the triggers, the consequences, and accountability are in place to reinforce that workflow into habits that grow stronger over time. And the fourth phase is culture design. We're telling the stories of these great teams allows them to become heroes who can engage, inspire, and guide others in your organization to be more ready for anything. So our ideal client is an organization with at least 50 employees, especially if at least some of them are working remotely, and who's committed to growth and achieving ambitious goals, solving meaningful problems, and making their organization more ready for any storm that they may face in the future. We've been completely self-funded and profitable since we set sail in 2016, and we've built a network of trusted professionals who are passionate about helping teams. We don't do individual coaching or personality tests. We don't do off-the-shelf e-learning or generic leadership training. Others do that. We are exclusively focused on helping teams succeed and become more ready for anything. So I'm Sean Kearney, the founder of UpGauge. And if you're asking questions like, where do we go from here? And how can our team be more ready for anything that might come? Then please visit us at theteamhackers.com and schedule time to see how we can help you find those answers.
So thank you so much, Sean. We know you've been really busy as we've all tried to work and move from in-office to remote working. So thank you for the work that you've done. So we've got another quick commercial here. Another program that we offer is our launch camps. Now, these camps are for companies at most any stage of their business, from starting up to actually growth and expansion, when they are thinking about a new industry or new product launch. These camps are led by experts in the Lean Canvas methodology and are scheduled over weekends for tech and creative businesses. So if you need support in thinking about customer discovery and how to build your messaging to provide product market fit for your business, we invite you to join us. This is going to be hosted over the June 13th and 14th weekend. So again, virtual. So if you know companies or if you're starting a company that this would be beneficial for, please come join us. The application link is there again. So now to continue with these great companies, welcome Bill Johnson. He's co-founder of Life Design Institute, a program that develops tools for university leadership to support students in developing their goals. Take it away, Bill.
We were young kids. We were always asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? For our students, when they get to college, the question now becomes, what should I do with my life? What we found that 50% of the 17 million students are grappling with this question. At four-year schools, 60% of students graduate in 6 years, and at two-year schools, 30% of students graduate in 3 years. We found that this is a big problem because students want help figuring out what they want to do, and colleges and universities don't have the resources or the guidance in order to help them figure that out. So what's missing? The Life Design Institute. Co-founders Stephanie Williams and Bill Johnson have created the Institute and developed a curriculum so that we can help advisors and coaches work with students on helping them answer the question, what should I do with my life, by creating academic, career, and life plans that lead to success in life. What we do is train the advisors and coaches to be facilitators to help students identify their values, their gifts, their talents, and their strengths in order to define what their meaningful work is and a problem to solve in the world. And they can use that information to choose a major, identify volunteer and internship experiences, identify potential jobs, and possibly even create a side hustle or start their own small business. Why we're different? It's the only program in the country that actually provides academic advising, academic success coaching, personal development, career exploration, incorporates contemplative practices, holistic health and well-being, and developing the entrepreneur spirit. And we have found that incorporating these practices enhance students' experiences. We have worked with over 2,500 students over the life of the program, and what we have found is that our program has increased retention rates 5 to 10% and increased graduation rates 10 to 15%. And we've also found that over 80% of students have gained clarity and direction in their choice of major and in developing their academic career and life plans. We have also been recognized by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the National Academic Advising Association as a best advising practice. We have trained over 500 advisors and coaches at over 80 institutions across the world on incorporating life design work in their practice, whether that's in an institution or as their own little side gig. And here's a listing of some of the institutions, big and small, that we've impacted this work. Our business model basically is structured so that we'll present at a conference or workshop and connect with advisors and coaches. The coaches and advisors will actually contact their administrators to pay for them to come to a training, or that will come to their school for a training. And then institutions will subscribe to the training curriculum, an annual subscription, and pay to have access to updated material. We ask that you refer our work to other advisors and coaches across higher education, as well as possible administrators that you might have connections with, so that we can continue to expand this work, change the way higher education, how we work with students in higher education, and possibly change the way our students see their lives and become successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill, for that. As students return to their universities, there will be an even greater need for clarity, so keep up the good work. Now we welcome Kylie Roy of Persensus Core Learning, the online platform supporting mental health providers through education and billing tools.
In America, we hear a lot about mental health care, whether it's in the context of the gun control debate or the soaring number of young people struggling with mental health conditions. But the one theme that remains consistent is that America's mental health system is not working. At CORE, we believe all people deserve access to high-quality mental health care. And we also believe that provider agencies delivering these important services should be supported. But we recognize that due to America's flawed system, providers face a variety of challenges which often put them out of business. So why is this happening? With more than 54 million Americans in need of critical mental health services, there's simply not enough licensed professionals to meet this need. And due to this shortage, states allow non-licensed professionals to deliver services. For clients, this can result in poor clinical outcomes, meaning people are just not getting better. But provider agencies also suffer, as non-licensed and overworked staff are more likely to improperly document or bill for services. This opens agencies up to poor audit results and revenue recoupment. CORE alleviates these issues by offering a web-based application that houses a collection of resources to support the professional and the client while protecting the provider agency. This system includes a clinical decision-making process, which helps the professional work with each client to develop a customized treatment plan. This way, when an agency is audited, every session can be proven to have therapeutic value. In one instance, a provider that was using the CORE system was able to reduce a state-mandated overpayment from $1 million down to just $7,000. CORE's target market is behavioral health providers, and converting just 15% of these providers into customers will result in an annual revenue of $6 million. This is our short-term goal. We recognize it's ambitious, but believe it's achievable given our current and past traction. So far, CORE has been used in 8 states among more than 30 providers. And thinking long-term, we aim to become the leading digital health tool for mental health needs across all human service sectors. This includes services for the developmentally disabled, school and prison systems, veteran support services, and primary care. Transitioning to market trends, the demand for mental health services is increasing, and so is insurance and government spending. Insurance spending on mental health services is expected to reach a new high of more than $280 billion in 2020. Additionally, government spending on community-based behavioral health and integrated care or whole health models is expected to exceed $249 million this year. This is ideal for CORE because our product is designed to support these models of care. I'm sure you're also wondering about the impact of COVID-19. While there has been significant upheaval in the mental health field, recent experience has shown that the pandemic has propelled regulatory bodies and providers to take a giant leap forward in terms of implementing digital health tools like CORE. So what does CORE need? We are actively working to raise our first round of investor funding. This will support key product development initiatives, marketing needs, and hiring needs. Additionally, we're always seeking industry connections. Most of our growth has been organic, and this has taught us that personal connections and introductions are key to building relationships and making sales. So if you're impressed by our product, please feel free to share my contact information. Here's my contact info. Thanks for listening, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Kylie, well done. Thank you so much for supporting our mental health providers with the online tools they need to support their clients and communities, especially in a time like this. And my final commercial of the night, I know you're going to miss them, but our Launch Lab Accelerator, as you've learned, is one of our key program offerings. And we really thank the city of Greensboro. Over the last 6 years that we've been doing this program, they've been supporting us with funding. So thank you. Over these 6 years, in Launch Lab alone, we've worked with with 267 companies and 320 entrepreneurs. Of those entrepreneurs and companies, over 60% are minority-owned businesses, and about 2/3 of those businesses remain in operation today. So if you'd like to join a group of amazing companies like what you've met tonight and these other businesses that we've worked in the past, you can learn more about us and this program and the many other ways we support entrepreneurs in Greensboro, the Triad, and our state by visiting our website. We'd love to meet you in person and help you launch your business, so please apply. So our next presenter, Lauren Hall with Modern Day Hypnosis. She is unlocking the power of our minds. So welcome, Lauren.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lauren Hall, and my business is Modern Day Hypnosis. Humans have an enormous opportunity. Our minds have massive untapped potential, yet most of us feel out of control, lost in those negative thoughts and patterns that play out in everyday life. Here's where I come in. I am a personal trainer for your mind. Through the art of listening and conversation, I de-hypnotize people and support them to make changes in habits, to release fears, improve performance, and even erase emotional and physical pain. People don't want to buy therapy. They want to buy a solution. To me, that solution means we have to think about these support services through the lens of an engineer to systemize a unique client support. In the time-tested techniques that I use, like hypnosis, I've also incorporated supportive technologies like bio and neurofeedback tools for people to self-quantify and teach themselves how to regulate their emotional state. I also teach people how to access those brain states for increased focus and better flow. The market for the solutions that I support is massive, and the trend for yield in these segments is predicted to increase. I have a comprehensive strategy for growth in my business. In order to work beyond the capacity as the single service provider, I am training affiliate hypnotists to serve under me and work on general client needs. I will continue to work with clients, particularly those who are interested in the ongoing hypnotic coaching program that I offer called The Edge. These people want an edge over their minds, and already they have expressed supportive products that they would like to see from me, like workshops and retreats. Society needs a better approach for interacting with the mind. It is the most important organ, yet it's the least understood. It is primed with potential, and in my opinion, this next phase of my business, leading these immersive retreats, is that opportunity to truly test and develop those supportive products. These will be lifestyle solutions and tools. Many VR and artificial intelligence companies are already taking off, and in combination with the right support and programming, I think we have an opportunity to truly optimize health, wellness, and performance. Today I have a business, but my goal is to grow a company. Nikola Tesla used hypnosis to open his mind to understanding the complexities of energy applications. I've studied hypnosis to teach my mind how to better systemize client support. I'm here today to make connections to affiliate hypnotists, coaches, counselors, anyone that's interested in learning more about hypnosis. Let's talk. I'm also looking for contacts for corporate wellness programs, nonprofits, schools, clubs. I love meeting colleagues, entrepreneurs, mentors. And if what I've said today spoke specifically to you, let's make plans to talk more, especially if you are or are connected to anyone with that engineering mindset, such as in robotics, app development, or investment. Now, thank you for your time and attention. I'm Lauren Hall, founder, Modern Day Hypnosis.
Thank you, Lauren. I can't wait to see how your clients find their edge. And now, last but certainly not least, welcome Peter Amadon, co-founder of Maui Insights. They are unlocking the power of data with an easy to use and build survey tool for self, team, and 360-degree assessments.
Hello, everyone. I'm Peter Amadon, co-founder and CEO of Maui Insights. Maui Insights believes that data and feedback are critical to decisions. Online surveys drive the data gathering process, and here's the challenge. Companies have two options these days. They can buy a survey off the shelf, which may not be tailored to their organization, or they can make their own survey and use a platform like SurveyMonkey, which is going to be too limiting for them most times. Or they can go the other direction and use a platform like Qualtrics, which is often too expensive and too complex. Maui Insights is that customizable, affordable platform for building self, team, and 360 surveys. The survey services market by 2026 is projected to be $11.6 billion. Within this marketplace, we want to target three particular customer types. We're going to go after training and development professionals that use surveys in their everyday work. We're going to target assessment provider companies, and we're going to target companies such as universities and research organizations. Maui Insights partners with these individuals, teams, and organizations to provide powerful insights. How do we do this? Well, we're easy to use. We believe in reporting plus flexibility equals powerful insights. Our work is based on 30+ years working with global top-ranked learning and development institutions throughout the world. And our work leverages tools that we've built that are currently being used by companies such as GM, Ford, and PwC. We're also being used by a consortium called the Connected Commons, which is a collection of top talent managers and Fortune 500 companies. Our platform's already live in the form of a minimum viable product being used by our alpha clients. This MVP is the blueprint for the future Maui Insights. And when we go live, we're going to have a freemium business model with 3 levels of basic, standard, and advantage. We're also going to offer fee-based services, including 360 survey capabilities, which will be our differentiator in the marketplace, the ability to white label and customize your survey, as well as the ability to create team members. Our core team is strong. We are 4 co-founders with experience in sales, marketing, and programming. We have years of experience at working at places like the Center for Creative Leadership, BBT University, ValueServe, and UNC Greensboro. We want to be a $9 million company by 2025. And how are we going to get there? Well, we've got some great goals for 2021 and 22. We really jump in revenue in 2023 because by that time, we're going to be cash flow break even. We're going to have a robust platform in place, and we're going to have a larger team in place to really drive everything. And as you can see here, our 360 and hybrid functionality really drives our revenue because it makes us stand out in the marketplace. Our roadmap is simple. We're currently building the platform. We're going to launch it in Q1 of FY21, and right after we launch it, we're going to roll on our first customers. Every 6 months, we're going to add to our team as well as roll out new functionality. And by Q1 of FY23, we will be cash flow break even. We seek two things. We seek investors, an investment to help us accelerate building our platform, augment our marketing sales team and our programming, and also to stabilize us in our cash reserves as we go through growth spurts. We're also looking to partner. We want to transform Greensboro into a leader town. Greensboro has a strong tradition in training and development, and we want to partner with and provide the survey technology muscle to build leaders here, nationally, and internationally. Let's give Greensboro another nickname together, Leader Town. You can find us on our website, mauiinsights.com, as well as on our Facebook page. Thank you so much.
Wow, what a great way to end the pitch portion of our evening. Now you understand why in the beginning I raved about these 8 companies. I wish they could hear your applause and cheers, because I know that you're joining me in celebrating them all. Their work and effort is really evident over these last 14 weeks. But before we move into our next program session, I'd really like to take some time to thank some folks, our staff and community. So first of all, thank you for being here. Your support of our programming and these startups and these entrepreneurs is vital. It's really vital to the growth and strength of our communities, because without these and all other startup businesses in our region, Greensboro and the surrounding communities would not be the place we love. And now more than ever, entrepreneurs are key to our economic rebound through their innovation, guts, and tenacity. They will build businesses and hire local community members. So thank you to the City of Greensboro for your continued support, and we'll continue to support the City of Greensboro through our programs and these amazing entrepreneurs and startups. So this program would not be as successful as it is without the work of our interns. And this year, as always, we had 2 amazing interns working with these companies. So I want to thank Luke Pecor, a junior at UNCG, and Allie Thanhauser, a junior at High Point University, for your great work. We hope that you have a great semester and year next year as you finish up your school. I also want to thank so many folks in our Greensboro team, our Launch Greensboro team, including our board of advisors, our mentors, our experts that help us make this work, as well as our staff. So you really do make our organization better. Without our board, our experts, and our mentors, we could not accomplish what we accomplish. I know that the experts bring in such amazing insights to these businesses, and it's so beneficial. I also want to thank Kennedy Curry, our community coordinator, who provides social media and marketing support for all of our programming and management of our CoLab co-working space, which come visit when we reopen in a couple of weeks. And I also want to thank Jennifer Hensel, our assistant director. She manages all of our programming and spends so many hours making certain that our entrepreneurs have all that they need and that they have an impact on our community. And she has devoted countless hours to the prep of this online virtual demo day. So thank you again to the City of Greensboro, our board, our experts, mentors, Kennedy, and specifically Jen, for your work and support. We couldn't do it without you. And as most of you know, we normally do this in person at CoLab so that you can meet these companies and really get to know them. And we hate that we couldn't do that this year. So keep an eye out for an invitation to join us at a later date when the restrictions have been lifted to gatherings of more than 10. I'm certain you're going to want to meet them in person, and we'll look forward to seeing you then in person. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, the community, and those watching this tonight to support these businesses and all startups and entrepreneurs in our region. What can you do? You can invest in startups here at home. We've got lots of companies that you can invest in right here. You can mentor an entrepreneur as they start and grow their business. You can share your expertise as an expert in one of these programs. You can always buy local. And then our big ask tonight, as you've heard from many of these companies, is if you know a potential customer that would be beneficial for one of these businesses, please make that phone call and make that connect. So now what we're going to do is take another quick break and hear from Deborah Smith with Early Groove and our amazing director, Assistant Director Jen Hensel, and the conversation they have about how Early Groove and Deborah made some pivots through this pandemic time period.
All right, well, we just got done watching 8 amazing pitches, and I am here with Deborah Smith of Early Groove. How does it feel to be done with your pitch, Deborah?
Oh, it feels great, Jen. It's a lot of work to get up to this point, and I'm just so proud of the work that all of us have done to get here today.
Yeah, I am beyond proud of all of you. And I think what we want to talk about with you today is how has this experience been as a participant in this program? You know, COVID-19 hit our region about halfway through what for us is typically an in-person 14-week accelerator program. So I would love if you would share with our viewers just how has it been to be in a cohort that went from in-person to virtual?
Well, for me personally, it was a pretty seamless transition because I do a lot of remote work. I've worked remotely for years now. Um, However, I think it really did impact our cohort in terms of, I'm really glad, first off, that we did have that in-person experience at the beginning before we made the transition. I think it gave us a really good foundation of getting to know one another and having that experience so that when we transition to online and all of a sudden we're having our cohort meetings on Zoom and offline, we're connecting up with each other on video chat as well. We had that foundation to work with, and frankly, I think also, all of us going through this experience together, I think it's actually brought us closer than maybe it would have had it been a traditional experience.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to be really interesting as we watch this particular cohort move forward is, you did have a shared experience, and it was not just being a global citizen in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of massive shutdowns. You really had a shared experience about how to be an early stage entrepreneur in this business time. And so you have a particularly interesting story, and I would love for you to share that pivot with everyone.
Well, for us, it was pretty significant. I had built a business model that really relied on the value of in-person connection. So Early Groove originally was focused on bringing the community together and connecting people to the local in-person opportunities that matter most to them. And with the pivot that we did, it was a response to the new way that the people we served were doing business. Mm-hmm. And so when I noticed what was happening and that we were going to be dealing with this for a while, I knew that I needed to take my product roadmap and really reshift priorities. We were always going to be a place where people could list all sorts of opportunities and not just live in-person events. That's where we had started because, this country and actually globally, has been facing an epidemic of loneliness and social isolation. And we really felt like focusing on in-person was a way to address that. Now, frankly, I think some of these, those issues are going to be exacerbated by what we're going through right now. And so we felt it was really important to pivot quickly and provide a platform where people could connect virtually and get their virtual and digital listings out there and support businesses and individuals in this way so that they can remain connected and engaged with one another, like we were able to do with the cohort transition.
Yeah, it was really cool. I remember when I got the text message that you were making this pivot, and that information kind of rippled around through the interns and the staff and the rest of the cohort. And it was really fascinating for all of us to watch you make these critical business decisions in real time. That's not something that all of us can see or experience often. And so, you did make these shifts from a coding, IT platform perspective, but you did it all with the same problem solution in mind, keeping your customers centered. And I think what a great example it is to talk about this among other entrepreneurs. Like you said, it was on your roadmap, but something being on your roadmap is very different from a long-term perspective than doing something in 2 short weeks. We just want to applaud you. It was really great to see. It's been great to see the product in the market. And I'm wondering if you believe you could have made this kind of a shift happen as seamlessly and quickly if you had not been in the kind of supportive environment that an accelerator program provides.
Honestly, no. And that's for a couple reasons. I mean, one, the program has provided great education and practical information for all of our companies to help us, launch and scale and grow and think about important things like how to go to market and to, really understand our customer base. And so, that has been, very valuable for me too. But really, I think having what you call the supportive environment, having not just my team, but also being able to draw on your team, my cohort, and get that support and feedback from a broader group than had I been floating out there on my own during a historical and frightening moment, quite frankly. Whether or not you are an entrepreneur, this is a hard time for everybody. And so I think the more support we can have and provide to one another, the better off we're all going to be. So being in the accelerator during this time was absolutely critical to my being able to pull this off.
Well, we were so happy and honored to be there with you on this journey and to provide the kind of environment that made this possible. And we're just really excited to see where Early Groove goes, as well as the rest of the cohort. So Deborah, thanks again for taking the time to chat with us and tell us about the Early Groove pivot story. And we will see you soon.
So tonight, as we close out our program, I want to thank you again for being here. I want to thank everyone who supports Launch Greensboro and our organization, as well as these cohort companies. So City of Greensboro, our Launch Greensboro Advisory Board, all of the mentors that spend countless hours with these entrepreneurs and companies, as well as our experts who lead education sessions, and of course, our internal team, Kennedy, Curry, and Jen Hensel. So go ahead and enjoy the rest of your evening. Don't forget to make these connections and support entrepreneurs as you can. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you again when it's all safe to gather. Have a good night.